stuff. So we're on here. Welcome to another episode of the Three Putt Schmucks. We'll be taking you on a journey of incredibly average golf where I, Tom,
and I, Tim,
are set to break 9 eventually.
That felt so forced, but welcome.
Yeah, well, what do you do?
There was one part in that opening statement that is incredibly true as well.
Which part's that, mate?
Is that how average we are at golf?
Yeah. Hell yeah. There's a bit to unpack after the weekend, eh?
There is so much to unpack. And look, it may bring up emotions. It may bring up some demons. I'm thinking that they could pop up at some stage. But look, we made some statements on our last podcast about how we felt we would play and how I think we were very maybe overly confident leading into the Springs at Pete's Ridge. And we finished off that podcast saying that we would discuss how we played at that course.
Yeah, so I was still full of confidence when we arrived there in the morning.
It was sky high.
Yeah, and I think it was shortly after I teed off on the first tee that just went out the window.
I think the fact that I lost 2 balls on the first hole was like, okay, welcome back to reality.
Yeah, I noticed when I checked the scorecard this afternoon, I was like, oh, that's right. There was 2 that went missing. I'm not sure how many I went through. I think it was at least 5 or 6 throughout the day.
Yeah, jeez.
It was a lot. It was like 4 of those camouflage balls are just gone.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the camouflage balls because that is a very interesting...
Half fluorescent yellow, half blue.
I've never seen or heard of it. What's that?
I got them for my birthday. The kids wanted to buy them for me.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. But I
take back anything I said about them now.
No, it's fine. They're camouflage. They just disappear in the grass. Blue and green. Who would have thought?
As soon as you hit them, you can see them in the air. They look great, and you can see the spinning of the colours. As soon as it landed, it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I took 6 of them down in the backyard yesterday just having a chip, and I lost one in the AstroTurf.
I lost one 1 metre in front of me.
It was. I was like, where's it gone? Yeah, no good.
Yeah, look.
How do you feel you went overall?
Yeah, it was probably up there, top 3 worst games I've ever played. I'm glad I managed to pull back a little bit. Like when we first started, as you can remember on the scorecard, I was almost double digits for the first 3 holes, close to, like, bordering on the edge, and then brought it back a little bit, played all right, and then just, I think, a few things like the hangover started to really kick in.
Yeah, it was a killer. The cold must have been keeping a lid on it.
The cold, yeah, I know. So, yeah, I think when I took my jumper off is when it went downhill. Yeah, very bad game. And a few days after, I didn't want to even think about golf. I didn't want to think about anything because it was like, what was that?
Yeah, on the 13th, 14th holes, I just wanted to throw this whole podcast idea in the bin. I had a gut full of the game.
We're back here, episode 2. Here we go.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, then we'll go through it in detail, but then I don't think you had that bad of a game.
Yeah, look, I'm actually really happy.
You had a couple of horrible moments, but
yeah,
I think generally you did. You're not giving yourself enough credit. You didn't do horribly.
Well,
the course was quite difficult.
Yeah, it was. Look, we can really get into the course and how we rated it, and that can lead into our next thing. But I guess we can just talk about, so the listeners know how badly we actually play. We can mention our scores.
You ready?
We've got it here. Here it is.
Oh.
Don't even show me.
The sacred sheet.
Read it out.
As in, like, every hole?
No, I don't think. Maybe just the back, the first and the back. Could be here a while.
Okay, so we teed off on a par 5, and we shared a pair of 8s, which, given our condition to start on a triple bogey,
I'll take it.
6 degrees outside,
I'm taking
I
it.
will take that. I ended up finishing the front 9 on 64.
It's up there. It's up there.
And you were on 58. You weren't far behind.
No, I'm following closely in your footsteps.
Yeah. And then the back 9, we got it together a little more on the back 9. There was less blowouts.
Yeah.
There was a little more consistency.
Yep.
We both ended up getting a 54 around the back.
Okay.
So I finished on a 118, which, if you've seen on Instagram, I wasn't too happy with myself.
Look, we went through a lot of golf balls, but we didn't go through any golf clubs. So I think that is a positive. And I've never not once broken a golf club out of rage. So there were moments where I wanted to really break something, but let's move on. We'll move on from that.
So I went through the whole scorecard.
Yeah.
And I tallied up for both of us the total amount of pars, bogeys, doubles, triples, and then blowouts.
What's the blowout?
It's a quadruple bogey or more.
Okay. There were a few of those.
Unfortunately, we both had some.
Oh. Mate, the good thing is that we're laughing about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had 5 blowouts in the front 9.
Yeah, gosh. We weren't the
we weren't
the only people out there having blowouts. Like when you're on the tee box and you can hear the person on the other tee box teeing off and just expletives all over the place, all over the course. You can hear people just blowing up.
Club thuds, just people belting the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Mates laughing at mates. Yeah, it was an all-round good day. Like, yeah, we played terribly, but to get out there and just have a hit, have a hack, as one would call it.
Yeah, I mean, this is where I think you're giving yourself a hard time, because I got out of all the 18 holes, I had 2 pars, 3 bogeys, 3 double bogeys, 4 triples, and 6 blowouts. Right, so I'm living life in the back end of the spectrum. You had no pars, but you had 8 bogeys.
I'll take it.
4 doubles.
Yeah.
So 12 out of the 18 holes, you were 2 over or less, which I think's, like, for the average hack's pretty good.
I mean, it's not too bad, actually, is it?
Then 3 triples, right? Like, you could have just 3-putted instead of 2-putted for a double.
Could have.
And you only had 3 blowouts.
Yeah, okay.
So, I mean, your blowouts were mighty fine.
They were, weren't they?
Yeah, like getting a 9 on a par 3 on one of them.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that hole, though.
That was one of the most enjoyable moments I think I've ever had.
I could see it on your face. You were having a great time.
In the public space with a friend. And unfortunately, I filmed the whole thing, but the audio on my phone wasn't working.
I'm so grateful.
I'm gutted, because the content that would have created for anyone that wanted to see. You went right of the green, just a little bit short.
Great shot.
Great shot. Yeah, I'll just chip it up here, 2-putt, maybe get a bogey.
Yep.
Went just clean over. Then you went to come back and you hit it like a metre. Didn't even make it to the edge of the green. Next one, you crush it. You're 20 metres past the green the wrong way.
Yeah, down the hill like 20 metres.
Yeah, and you came back again.
I
was standing in the middle of the green waiting for my turn to putt, just watching you walk back.
Mate, I just didn't feel like putting that day. I just felt like I just want to chip most of the day. I don't need a putt today. Just chip.
Yeah. That was one of my best holes of the day. I 3-putted for a bogey then, so I was on him.
But yeah, I mean, like you love to 3-putt on Sunday. You were loving them, weren't you?
I could not putt to save my life.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the coloured balls.
I think so. Look, I think that it's a nice gesture, but maybe just go back to the old traditional whites.
I think I'm going to, mate.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to.
So yeah, look, we discussed our score. As you can tell, we played terribly. But I guess you don't really want to hear much about the score. Potentially, maybe we can let everyone know about what we've brought into the podcast for episode 2?
Yes, we've developed a very thorough scoring system.
I've never seen anything more thorough in my life.
That's a lie.
It's so good.
The goal of said device is to...
Who are you, a science teacher?
is to score golf courses for the average Joe, and not have difficulty rankings or anything like that come into it. Like, we're going to score. I'm just going to get the list up so I don't butcher this.
Yeah, let's go from the list.
Let's do it properly. Right. So we're going to be scoring it on 5 items out of 5. Each one's out of 5, so it'll be a total score out of 25.
All right.
The first one is the quality of the greenskeeping.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to tell them what it's called.
Oh yeah, of course. It's the schmuck board.
The schmuck board.
Schmuck board, buddy. Your camera's gone.
Okay, I'm back.
You come back.
I'm here.
Stay
the schmuck board.
The schmuck board.
Yeah.
So the schmuck board has 5.
Yeah.
5 items that we'll be scoring it on out of 5 for each one. Total score of 25. And the idea is how that score out of 25 will be a ranking of how enjoyable it is for the average person who plays off high handicaps to go and have. So, number 1 is the quality of the greenskeeping. That's, for me, I just like pretty golf courses and I get great enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
So, a 5 would be like butter soft fairways,
pristine
stripes, just pristine, beautiful, great.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, we're going to give it a score 1 to 5 out of overall enjoyment.
Yep.
Has the course just given you the shit? Have you had the worst day ever because of the course being hard, or because rounds 2 or whatever, or have you just breezed through and had a great time?
Yeah.
The third one is the pro shop. Just the vibe. Are the people nice? Do they sell cool stuff?
Yeah.
Have they got lockers? Whatever we decide we want to score that on. The 4th is course fees. So the cost to quality ratio is the big one for us. Like, we're cool to pay a little bit more if it's prime.
Yeah.
But if it's garbage and expensive, then it's going to get a lower score.
100%.
So there's a bit of a ratio there. And the 5th one, the most important, the 19th hole.
19th. Okay. Well, let's just jump straight into the ratings of.
Okay. Well, we're lucky here too, because we've got 2 courses we can score right now.
So and
that gives us some data for the chart.
Let's start with the freshest one, which was the Springs at Pete's Ridge, which for some reason I still keep wanting to call it the Twins for something. I don't know why. I feel like they should rename the place.
No. I can't say that for
rename it Twin Springs.
Twin Springs, Pete's Ridge. No. But number 1, quality of greenskeeping.
Just before we kick this off, can we go with decimal points as well, or is it going to be
round number?
No. Okay.
Oh no, good point actually.
I think we can add in decimal points.
I think we should, because if there's something that's not quite a 5, but it should be.
Yeah. See,
but there's something that's scored a 4, but it's better than that one.
Because most of my scores, I feel, are going to have a decimal point here or there.
Oh mate, this is going to grind me. All right, let's get into it. Quality of greenskeeping at the Springs.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Out of 5, the Springs at Pete's Ridge. I'll give you my score, and then I'll give you a reason behind the score. I'm going to give it a 2.1.
No, you're not going 0.1, buddy. Together, you got to go like 0.5 increments, surely. For the first one, you can't go 0.1.
You can't tell me what to do. This is my list as well.
Oh, this is ridiculous. 2.1.
2.1.
Why don't we just score it out of 100 then? Oh,
okay, so, do you want to hear my reason or not?
No. Yes, go on.
The place was, it could have been the morning, it could have been prior weather, could have been a whole range of things. Could have been that they don't have any greenkeepers there at all that actually work there. Um,
Just the kangaroos mow the lawn.
just the kangaroos just chew the grass. A few pellets. It was muddy. It was pretty firm. There wasn't much distinction between fairway and rough, in my opinion. And it was quite rocky in some parts. And look, I think the actual greens were pretty good, which is probably what props up the score from a lower score than that. But yeah, in my opinion, I felt it was pretty a pretty run down course, and like with a lot of attention, it could get a much bigger score from there.
Yeah, I was just thinking maybe we should change this question from greenskeeping to overall course quality, because one of the things that was grinding me on the day was the cart paths.
Yeah.
Some of them were just flat out goat tracks, and that cart wouldn't like
couldn't handle it. Couldn't handle it,
and it'd just reverse back uphill.
I wouldn't recommend the cart if you're going to play at the Springs.
No, I'd definitely walk it.
So there you go. Maybe change it, and I'm still going with the 2.1.
You're going with the 2.1. I was going to say a 1.5 because of the cart paths. I was going to be like pretty brutal. The greens are good.
Yeah.
The tee box is pretty good.
Yeah.
The fairways are like they're okay. But I don't know. Even if you go in the middle of the fairway, most of the holes, I felt it like really hard.
It felt hard. Yeah. Which
like you couldn't get it.
No.
Which I rely on a little bit.
Me too. Because I'm a hacker. And I can't. Yeah.
I can't get a flush. No way.
All right. So there you go. There's our first scores.
Well, what are we going to score it? Because we've got to agree on one number between the two of us.
True. Okay.
I've said 1.5. You said 2.1.
Yeah.
Do we just give it a flat 2?
Flat 2. I'm happy with that. I'll pull it back.
Okay, cool. Because we can always go back to these scores one day, right, and say
if we play them again, yeah.
Yeah, when we get more courses loaded in, we're going to have more data to work with, and we'll think something that's better than that's a 2. So we'll have to maybe
jink it here and there.
Yeah, all right. So we'll give it a 2.
Yeah, all right.
Oh god, there. Cool. Righto. Next one, overall enjoyment. Try your hardest to take condition out of the scenario.
Yeah, okay, so overall enjoyment of the day, I'm going to go with a 4. From looking back at the videos that we took and thinking a little bit more about my score and everything, and just being out there with a mate, having a go, Sunday, long weekend, nowhere to be, nice and relaxed most of the time. It's my reason for a 4.
Yeah, you can't let the fact that we're bad at something impact that you can still go there and have a good time.
Exactly, and that's what over the last few days that give me time to reflect and just think, we're lucky to be able to just go out there and do that, or have the
four's high though, dude. What would you consider a 5 for overall enjoyment?
Well, you'll find out
as far as because it doesn't have. See, I disagree here. I think I was going to give it maybe a. I'm going weird decimals now. I think a 2.8 because there's limited stuff as far as food and that goes when you're playing.
Yeah.
Once you're out of the course and you're down the hill, you're out there. It's not like an easy run back to the clubhouse or anything like that.
So, but that leads into the clubhouse fields, doesn't it, and everything there.
Oh god, this is complicated. We've really made this hard for ourselves.
I'm making this simple, mate. I'm giving.
Okay, overall enjoyment. I had a great time.
There you go. So, what would you score that?
I think it was aggressive. I reckon we should go 3.5.
Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy to pull it back. Look, I seem to be pulling back a bit here for you. I'm not on the next one. I'm not pulling back,
mate. You pulled back 0.1 on the last one. Okay, pull your head in. All right, the pro shop.
You go. You started off. I'm going to pull you back this time. What?
Come on, pull me back. I won.
I hope they're not listening.
I honestly feel a little bit
1
bad.
out of 5 for the pro shop.
What was there?
True.
Like a couple of beers, a few pies, some chips.
There wasn't beer, was there? I didn't think there was beer in the fridge.
Yeah, you were just blocking it out.
I just couldn't see it. Yeah.
There was just limited stuff. Like even there was balls in that you could buy, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd hardly call it a pro shop. I'd call it like a reception desk for players. Yeah. Like it had the necessities for you to play, and that was it. A couple of like shirts, like you could buy a shirt if you wanted to buy a Springs embroidered shirt. But
I think the only reason it gets a score is that it had some nice, some nice clothes and some decent golf gear in there.
Yeah.
But I'm happy to stick with a 1 out of 5 with you, there, mate.
Yeah, cold drinks, hot pies.
That was it.
Golf balls, scorecards.
Yeah.
1. All right. Number 4 is course fees. Cost to quality.
Yeah, so
we paid $50 for the round.
Yeah.
And then another $20 for a cart.
Which didn't work.
It worked when you were on the 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, but the cart path. Where was the cart path? Like we had to reverse out of sections like at least 10 to 12 times.
Yeah,
that could have just been that we had no idea where we were going.
Just driving around in circles.
Yeah, everyone's like looking at us, going, "Are these guys just reversing around the whole course?"
Far out.
So $75 for 18 holes and a cart. It's up there.
Just for reference, because we've got it. Can you remember what we paid at Emerald Downs?
Yes, I can. It was $60. Oh, sorry, no, it wasn't. It was. We didn't even get a cart at Emerald Downs.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 30.
Okay.
18 holes. Plus, what else? If you need a push.
Whatever else.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I would say on that front that it would, for me, be around a 2. Because it's not... Yeah, if the things we said about like the general course condition were slightly better, then you'd be giving it a higher score because you're happy to pay for cool stuff.
I'm thinking, I reckon a 1.5.
Yeah, cool. I'll give you that one. Number 5, and this is a soft spot because we didn't even make it.
What happens here? So number 5 is the 19th hole.
I can comment because I've been there twice recently. The facility itself is awesome. Yeah. Both times I've been there, I've walked in and walked up to a bar and no one's been around.
Okay.
And it's like I've had to wait for 10 minutes to get a beer. Yeah. And then you just sit there with whoever you played golf with. There's no one else around.
Is it a good view, though, over? Because it seems like it's quite high up looking down at the course.
Yeah. Like really beautiful building, great view. Yeah. The outdoor area is stunning. But like no service, no vibes.
I can say this about like maybe technically in the 19th hole, when we were there on the Sunday, they had what was the festival called?
It was the Harvest Festival. Yeah.
So they had the outdoor coffee van and like games and a few drinks and stuff around, and it seemed like a nice vibe, but it doesn't really qualify for the 19th hole.
No. I reckon from my past experience, I'll give it a 2.3.
Whack it in there, mate. Next time we play there, I'll have to bring my score and see what I think.
That's it. Righto. All right. We're going to let's fire through Emerald Downs because I reckon this will be an easy one for us.
Okay, go for it. So
I don't think there'll be much.
Emerald Downs is up in Port Macquarie. It's my local, as you probably call it. And yeah, we played there, like a month ago? A couple months ago? Yeah.
Well back.
Go for it.
Yeah. So, overall quality. Do you want me to go first? 3.8.
I was going to say 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 is fair.
I think it's bang on the money. I think for a public course...
Oh, For a public course, it's
public
excellent.
course, it is a really well kept place.
Yes.
I think maybe the only reason it gets bumped back down is that the front nine is a little bit older than the back nine.
Yeah.
But
that's right. We played back to front. We started on 10 that day.
Yeah. But it's 3.5 is 3.5 out of 5 is a pretty good score.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's fair. Number 2, overall enjoyment.
We had a great day.
But as far as the course goes, there's only one hole that's a jerk, really.
Yeah.
Or 2.
Yeah.
Is it the 18th?
Yeah, and
the 18th and the second
over the water. Yeah. I'm going to go...
One of my... At the bottom of that pond.
All of my golf balls. See, the thing is, I can hit a golf ball generally okay most of the time, but when I'm put right in front of water, and I'm not the only one out there that does this, everyone who's a hacker has been in this position. You put yourself in front of water and you get over the ball, what do you start thinking? You start thinking about all these things that you need to do in your swing, and you're like, oh, I can't wait for it to clear this water, land on the green, and just be an all-time top shot. And every time, just top it, slice it, straight in the water.
Prime example, right? Like that second, I think it was 175 or something like that. And then it's like the 6th or the 7th there is also 160. Yeah. I hit the one further down the line, club, put it at the back of the green, had like a 10-foot putt in, but the other one, just put it sky high, straight in the drink.
It's a total mental thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But overall enjoyment, I had a great day there, and I had a lot of fun playing golf there. I'm going with, personally, I think 4.5.
4.5. And look, I'm going to go right on the same because I agree with you. We both played well. We both had a great day. Great course. And
there's only 2 holes that are going to give you a hard time. And that's
it's just a nice, welcoming course. Yeah.
Yeah. Pro shop there.
Yeah, so pro shop's lacking.
Lacking pro shop stuff. But up on vibes. It's like a bowling club.
Yeah, and nice guys there that run the place.
Yeah, definitely.
Very welcoming, friendly, happy to have a chat with you. Good beer selection. But, not really... If you're going in there to get, like, some golf gear, I would not recommend it.
No. I reckon...
3. Yeah, I was going to go 3.5.
3.
3.2. 3.2.
3. I've got the keyboard.
3.2.
Oh, course fees.
Yeah, so... Look, as I mentioned before, $30 for 18. That's good.
And given the quality of course, and given the enjoyment, I think it has to be a 5. You can't argue.
You cannot. Tell me how you can argue with that.
You can't say it's... We can't score it well for the quality of the course and the overall enjoyment, and then the price is low.
It just tops it. Everything's topsing.
But what if it had a wicked pro shot there?
Then I'm playing there every day.
Do we give it a 4.8 for that?
I think so.
Still be generous.
Still good. Still a good score.
The 19th hole. We mentioned that earlier. The 19th hole is part of the pro shop.
Yeah, so it's the same thing.
That's a good 19th hole.
It's the same thing. So, yeah, I think the 19th hole, the reason it would get a score is because there's good people. It's a nice view, like a nice lookout, and you're not like stuck inside anywhere. Probably I'm going to go with a 3.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say the exact same thing.
We're on the board there.
Good
there
stuff.
You go.
Hang on. I need to play with my Excel.
That's the schmuck board.
That's the schmuck board. Are we ready for the scores? We haven't said the totals.
So let's give the total of the springs.
10.3 out of 25. I feel savage. I feel bad doing
It deserves it. Deserved.
Oh, shit.
And drum roll.
Yeah. All right.
Emerald.
Oh, Emerald Downs. You want to know the score for that
Let's
one?
hear it.
18.8 out of
That's
25.
a great score.
It's an
And
excellent
so,
score.
Yeah, look, every course that we play from here on out, I think it needs, obviously, it needs to be somewhere that we play together.
It can only be places we play together.
So whenever we play next, we're going to add it to our list. And yeah, look, there's stacks and stacks and stacks of golf courses between where I live and where you live. So we just got to start ticking them off and go from there.
We'll just keep doing
the thing.
Well, moving on to the
schmuck board. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. Did we want to have a chat about anything else?
Yes, I do.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So if you might have already heard that we have released our first podcast, as this is now our second one. Thank you for the maths, Tim, in case you didn't get that. Yeah, well thanks, guys. So Tom is the tech man, and you've released this stuff, which is really great, and I'm loving it. And so we released episode 1 this morning, and I was listening to it again, just seeing how it all sounded. And then there was a poll at the end of this podcast where you could vote whether you liked it. And it was done using the old Aussie lingo of yeah, nah, yeah. And so I was like, all right, here we go. Give it a post, give it a like. And I went to voting and I said, yeah, nah, to my first podcast that I've ever released. So I gave it a big fat thumbs down, which is obviously not intended. But first of all, were you the one who created that poll on that podcast?
Who else would have done it?
I don't know if it was like a Spotify thing or something.
As if Spotify and give the answers of yeah, nah, yeah.
Completely threw me. Early in the morning, I'm out getting a coffee. I'm like, oh, give this a like. Yeah, nah. Go back and edit that.
Oh, no, I don't think I can. I think only you can.
I can't. I tried to. I was clicking it for many moments.
Oh,
yeah.
dear.
So, yeah, anyway, just a quick one. Episode 1 is out. Go have a listen to it. Lead into how we went into our second. Here we are.
Yeah. Other golf news. The US Open starts tonight.
Yes.
The coverage on KO starts in an hour and a half. I'm not watching. I'm going to bed. A few little things I've noticed from just watching stuff. I noticed Dustin Johnson's wearing all his live golf apparel.
Yes.
He's got like the ace go on his shoe. He was wearing the polo.
He's not mucking around, is he?
He's not mucking around at all. And I was having a look at the groups that are teeing off in the morning.
Yeah.
And put a bunch of guys that were like Matt Fitzpatrick. I think he said a few things about staying with the PGA and being anti-live. He's teeing off with Cameron Smith. Rory's teeing off with Brooks Koepka.
Quality. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Like
there's going to be some fireworks.
Really?
There's going to be some fireworks for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so it feels like it's a drama series. It's like reality TV now, watching these clowns just carry on with it.
And there must be the cameraman following them around for the full swing show. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Have you started watching that yet?
I'm going to start watching it this weekend. But I've got a few things that I want to just read out here, just regarding the LIV and the PGA merger.
Didn't we go through that in the last episode?
No, we didn't. Well, sort of, but I've just got something here that Cameron Smith has said.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Cameron Smith coming out talking about the merger, which he thought was a joke at first. So this is exactly what he said word for word. He said, I guess the first reaction was I thought it was kind of a joke that it had come out. And then he said, I think there's still a lot of stuff to be worked out, and as time goes on, we'll know more and more. It really feels like no one has any idea what's going on.
No.
Like,
no.
all we
And I don't think any of them have a solid idea of what it looks like when it's done.
Yeah, which is...
Players are just like, oh, yeah, cool, so I can do both now? Sweet.
Exactly right.
So all those guys that took all the money and now they're allowed to come back in.
And so...
Oh, this is what I said to you yesterday when I got to hockey. And our goalie was like, hey, whoa, hey, what do you reckon about this merge? He got all jacked up about it. Allegedly, this is like great rumor and stuff. Apparently, John Rome said something in a press conference about how like he's disagreeing with like something to do with the bigwigs and PGA and all this kind of stuff. And there was rumors of him saying that he was going to go to live. Now that he's won the Masters, he's like, oh yeah, cool, I've got the one I wanted, I'm out. And he had like another 10 guys lined up behind him that were going to be like, yeah, cool, we'll
Interesting.
Come with you. And so the PGA were like, hey, we're
going to have to do something.
We're done if this. Yeah, we're going to do something here to save top level golf, right? Like you can't just have Tiger Woods, Rory McIlroy, and everybody else.
Yeah. So, this is what McIlroy said. He said, if you're thinking about one of the biggest sovereign wealth funds in the world, would you rather have them as a partner or an enemy? At the end of the day, money talks, and you would rather have them as a partner. So that's it. At the end of the day, it's money, and that's what it's come down to. And it's
makes sense because isn't the PGA not for profit?
Yeah, it's non-profit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of heavy wages.
Yeah, of course.
But
I think that's what it's come down to now. It's just money, and I'm really keen to see what happens and how it all ends up. But look, we've spoken a lot about golf, and I know the podcast is called Three Putt Schmucks and golf chat and everything that we do. But is there any time to just have a quick chat about lunchboxes?
Well, mate, it's Thursday, so tomorrow's
Talk to us. Day. So before you get, you've done Zip. Because we spoke about this a few weeks ago when we were on the phone, and you were talking to me about the foods that you were making for your girls, and it sounded like a I don't know what to say. It sounded great to me.
It's an art form I was never aware of until I was a parent. Like the extremes that some people go to with lunchboxes. And for me, like when my eldest first started school, I was like, lunchboxes are a chore and it can ruin my whole day and I hate it. And then I flipped my mindset on it to like, I'm doing a really nice thing for my kids and I'm putting a little bit of happiness into it. And I get a kick out of making them a nice thing to take to school. Half the time they don't eat it, or they tip half of it out, and it comes home and feels unappreciated. And like,
I just want to be appreciated.
But yeah, no, bento boxes are the best.
So what did you say? It's called a bento box.
Yeah, so it's like this. It's like a thing like this kind of size, right? And it's got 5 compartments and a little circle compartment in the middle. So when I do them, I put like heaps of loaves and shit in that circle compartment. Yes. And then like chips and sandwich and capsicum and berries and other fruit and stuff. But then like Karen will do it and she'll put hummus in that little circle part and then like carrot sticks and stuff. So the kids will just dip carrot and hummus and then sit.
Do the girls ask for you to do lunchboxes more than their mum or?
No, they don't say a word about it really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Lucy will just drill a honey sandwich every day. That's about the only standard.
And some chewing gum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Potentially. But yeah, that's lunchbox chat done. If you want to know more, just reach out to Tom by himself.
Maybe I can start a lunchboxes podcast.
If you need any inspiration, just ask Tom.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Other sports news, though, this is near and dear to my heart. The Stanley Cup was won yesterday by the Vegas Golden Knights, and the captain, Mark, I think it's Mark Stone, scored the first hat trick in a cup-winning game in 101 years. Whoa! So now we spoke about last week the hole in one in Adelaide, where it was the shower of stuff, and I was like, I've seen it at hockey games where there's like hats when a hat trick scored. No word of a lie, like 3,000 hats went on the ice.
It's insane.
It was like people running around with like wheelie bins picking them up. They went to an ad break and everything. They're like, we'll be back. We're going to clean up the hats.
So we're going to have to pull up some footage of that and post that up on our Instagram. Yeah. That's.
We'll try and snip like a bit of this out and then like a bit of that.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, mate, how cool is that? So is scoring a hat trick a very common thing in ice hockey, or is it pretty rare?
No, it's like it's a feat. Yeah, like there can be 1-0 games, right? Like they won, I think it was 9-3, but then I think Florida were like broken.
This is obviously
But then all the injury lists come out after the playoffs as well. So there was like Matthew Tkachuk, who's the the guy for Florida. He apparently played the last 3 games with a broken sternum.
Brutal.
Just like soldiered on. There was another guy who had like his shoulder dislocated like 4 times through the playoffs, and he had a broken foot, and he had some like oblique tear somewhere, and it was like some of the guys were just falling apart.
Jeez.
And Florida were the second wild card from the Eastern Conference, and Vegas were number 1 from the Western Conference. So it was like the 16th place team versus like a top 4 team.
Okay, so it was pretty well sewn up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Huge. Well, I want to see that footage. We'll have to post some stuff on our stories and see what people think.
Yeah. I took an extended lunch break on Wednesday to watch that.
Extended lunch break. It's work. It's purely for work purposes.
Well, yeah, now it is. Yeah,
research purposes. Right. We need this. We need research into sports news, things that are coming up in life that we can talk about in our podcast in episode 3.
Episode 3. We're gonna have to figure that out, aren't we?
We're 2 in. We're diving right into this.
We're 2 in. We've just rambled for 42 minutes and 24 seconds. Look at us go,
mate.
All over it, mate.
Look, I feel like we've covered quite a lot tonight. And if we ever want to podcast again, we might need to stop. Right, we might need to stop right now.
That's it.
But it's a bit of a different theme. I've got a little coffee here. I think you have a little tea.
Yeah, a cup of tea.
A bit of a cheers, mate.
Ching. There was no sounds of opening bottles in this episode.
A few people have reached out to us saying that it was quite obvious to hear. A few chings.
Yeah. I remember listening back to it being like, I can't even edit that.
It's got to stay.
It's staying.
It's got to stay.
It's authentic.
All right, there you go. Thanks for listening.
Good stuff.
Very much schmuckies.
Until next time.
Schmucks.